Hi Java fans. Welcome back to the second part of the video about the architecture of ProNexio, our Java framework. Let's go to the backend components. The first important block is the database handler, the component which is responsible for the communication to a database. Another part that we provide for developers and users are independent applications, which we call modules. This can be, for example, an ETL module to process heterogeneous data from different data sources, or our ProNexio Studio for designing excellent UIs. But this can also be a user management or other useful apps. It can be an integration of hardware, as we demonstrated in the project with the time registration terminals. This is really powerful because you can develop any application with ProNexio outside the core of this framework and can provide it to customers as independent industry application. This generator is the key to another powerful feature of ProNexio. Our framework is capable of creating Java classes at runtime and inject into JVM. Everything is handled by the framework. This is another highlight. The integrated OAuth 2 handler provides you with a single sign-on feature, which is completely transparent for the developer. You don't need to know anything about OAuth 2. ProNexio will handle this for you. And this is the first of our factories in ProNexio. This one is our I-18 implementation for internationalization and localization. Again, a WebSocket controller, as we have seen its counterpart on the front end of ProNexio already. One important part we didn't introduce so far, the ProNexio integrator. This is the link to external business logic. So far, we showed you a lot of components which we built and integrated in the two parts of ProNexio. Next step will be a brief look into the heart of the framework, the processor engine. One part of it is the export engine, where we implemented our own Excel processor, a XML processor, and of course a CSV processor. The other part are the portlet processors, which contains the grid processor, responsible for the powerful functionalities of our grid implementation, and the processor for our famous Web Studio. Perhaps you have seen already the information about front-end and back-end validation that ProNexio can provide, or you have seen the video about the studio. There is some of the magic dust. The calendar processor and the tree processor are additional important processors we developed and packed into ProNexio. The chart processor is one of our favorites, which will play an important role in some of our next videos. We are developing some very powerful charts as bundle for the final release of ProNexio, but we will give you a deeper look into our labs in the next few days. Outside the engine is the data controller on the back-end side, the counterpart of the data controller on the front end, which we know already. The communication between these two controllers is established via JSON. The second factory we have under the hood of the ProNexio backend is our service factory, which is responsible for the processes between factory and engines. The communication between factory and data controller is provided via request objects and JSON. So this was an introduction to the architecture of ProNexio. I hope it was not too boring and you didn't fall asleep. We had a lot to introduce and we tried to keep it short, but as always, shortness cuts details. If you have questions, don't hesitate to contact us. You find additional information on our social media channels and our website. And if you think this tool is a help for us Java people, please help us on Kickstarter so that we can develop ProNexio to the final release. Every euro is helpful. Okay, thank you for your attention and stay tuned. The next videos will come in a few days.